Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Hey, just first of all, going back to last Thursday night, just obviously disappointed we didn't get the win. Felt like we played at times good enough to go win that game and then give ourselves a chance at the end of the last drive. I felt our whole sideline, everybody felt very confident we'd go win the game, and we didn't get it done. I thought our guys did a good job. We came back in on Friday once we got back that afternoon and went over that game, kind of put it to bed. And moving forward to BG. I think watching their game from last week, guys play hard, they're coached well. Coach George and his staff have done a really good job. We went back and watched Tennessee State as well. Did some really good things there. Also, these guys will play hard. There's no question about it. They play physical. Going back to BG last year, I think they lost to Penn State by a touchdown, Texas A&M by 6. We're not going to be intimidated about coming in here playing. So we certainly got to continue to elevate our play with the same intensity, execute better at a higher level in order to go out and play a great game this week. I think you got to put it to bed. You can't dwell on that. You got to learn from it. I thought it was a great play by them. Obviously, if he had it over, he would have thrown it wider and deeper, and where we catch it, nobody catches it. But it's something you have to learn from, and you have to move on, and so you don't make that same mistake again. Obviously he's playing a lot of different programs. The thing that he's obviously got a lot of talent, probably very smart player. In order to start at 4, that's hard to do. I mean, as a quarterback, he's to start at this many places in schools and to be able to continue to play. And so he's certainly got a lot of experience. You're not going to show him anything that he hasn't already seen. He does a really good job. Got great mechanics, accurate passer. So. Certainly a capable quarterback that can do everything they're asking him to do. I think they have some outstanding running backs at BG that really run hard, they're fast. They're, mainly last week relied on the run. Now, obviously, new week, week number 2, we'll see what kind of wrinkles they present themselves this week. Playing a team, like I mentioned earlier, that they don't care who they're playing. They're going to show up and play and expect to win. I think I've played against a bunch of MAC teams, including Miami. I mean, these guys, man, they love playing a team that's at the power level. They want to prove that they belong playing at the power level. So you're going to get their best shot. You're going to get guys that are going to be more focused and dialed in, something to prove, all those type things. And so Evan made some guys miss and got some positive yards. Tawee ran hard as well, got positive yards. I thought that certainly was a positive in the game for us offensively. Rushed for over 200 yards. I think Nebraska last year finished up maybe 8th in the country in run defense. So, I mean, they're certainly capable of stopping the run. And then you add that to Q runs as well. That Brendan, I think it's a great mix. I think we'll see how practice goes this week to see, who's going to get those touches. Certainly, looking back on it, could have gotten more touches because we were getting some positive. I think they were averaging over 7 yards a carry. So let them guys continue to get work. And obviously it's going to move the chain. I thought our offensive line played solid. We had 0 tackles for loss or sacks in the run game. I think we had 2 negative plays, and both were on pass plays, a screen play and then a swing pass to Cyrus. So I thought up front they did good. I thought they pass pro'd well. I think only a couple of times where Sorsby felt like he needed to get out of the pocket on some pass rush. But I think for the first game and playing against the front like Nebraska, I thought our O-line did a really fine job. They put a lot of pressure and challenge the offense to make plays. They don't give you anything. You have to go out and make the play. I think they do a great job. Coach Fisher's a DC and does a really good job.
At the end of the day, it's football. Mistakes are going to happen. Obviously, you wouldn't like to throw a game-losing interception like that, but we got 11 games left. So, long season ahead, a lot of ball left, so there's no point, letting this mistake at the end of the game drag out into the next week. Iowa State last year was very similar. Ran the ball a lot, ran it well, but just couldn't seem to get the ball going, throwing it. So we just got to find a way to consistently each week find ways to get the ball, down the field to our guys, and however that may be, we just got to figure out a way to do it. But obviously it's frustrating as a quarterback, but got to find a way to overcome it. They're all hungry and they all want the ball. But we didn't throw the ball that well to anybody. So, guys obviously upset. Nobody more upset than me. 69 passing yards is not up to my standards for sure. So definitely I know the guys' frustration as well. But, it wasn't like one of those games where I had 400 passing, and just one guy was just dominating, the stat sheet. No, there was not very many passing yards to go around, last Thursday. So we got to find a way to bounce back this week and, hit some easy stuff and get some guys going.
Advertising for us to be motivated to win this week and just not looking past them. They're a very talented team, very Hall of Fame coach they got, so we know they run the ball. So it's just we're just respecting our opponent.
In my head, I feel like we can be that great defense that the Baltimore Ravens used to have a few years ago with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Their mentality was to not let nobody score because if you can't score, you can't win. So I think that's our mentality as a defense. So if you can't score, then we can win.